Hello, and welcome to The Foundation, a Parks People podcast, presented by the National Association of Park Foundations. And now, your host and Executive Director of the National Association of Park Foundations, Kevin Korenthal.
Welcome back to the podcast, The Foundation, a Park People podcast. I'm Kevin Korenthal. Really appreciative that everyone is continuing to join us on this podcast journey. We're in our second season, about halfway through it, and it's just been a wonderful experience. I've had a chance to talk to and learn from so many important people, and among the most important people in the NAPF environment is our guest today on the podcast. Debbie Trueblood is the incoming chairperson for the National Association of Park Foundations. She's been serving on the board of the NAPF, I believe, I'll let her correct me if I'm wrong, 4 years. And we'll be continuing on, as I mentioned, as the chair. We're very excited about that because Debbie brings a long host of familiarity with the association world, which is where NAPF lives, and has worked in the park and rec world. I'm going to let her tell you all about that. Debbie, how are you today?
Good, Kevin. How are you today?
I am good. I'm good. Why don't we start by going into your background?
Thanks, Kevin. Well, I'm glad to be on the podcast. Thanks for having me. And I'm very excited to be the incoming chair as of tomorrow, the day that we're recording this, as of tomorrow. So I'm very excited. So I've been in the association world for 23 years, and 9 of those years, 2012 to 2021, I was the executive director for the Illinois Park and Recreation Association, IPRA. And so I certainly fell in love with the park and rec world during that time. And I loved the park and rec world, and it was during those years in 2018, September of 2018, that I joined the NAPF board. And so I've had a wonderful experience being on the board these past, I think it's 6 years, and certainly developed my passion for parks during that time. I'm also currently a board member for the American Society for Association Executives, ASAE, and I've been on quite a few other boards, but as I knew I would be becoming board chair for NAPF, I really kind of narrowed my focus, let's say, so that I could really focus on NAPF and just serve on these 2 boards right now. In my day job right now, I'm an association consultant, and so I work for AMC Consulting out of Chicago. And so I serve association CEOs like yourself and boards and help associations grow and evolve.
Yeah, so you do have a lot of experience working with associations. And when I came on board with the NAPF, I think you and I had agreed very early to model this organization more after associations rather than your charitable organization, like the people that we help, like our members. Talk a little bit more about how your association background is going to impact your tenure with NAPF.
Yeah, absolutely. So, during my 23 years in associations, the bulk of those years, I was an executive director. So I've served in that role for 6 different organizations from 2002 to 2021. I was an executive director. I've served in that role for state, national, international, and global organizations. And my niche in that world was really doing a lot of financial turnarounds, as well as helping organizations in really critical transitions. And also, I was doing a lot of DEI work, even before we called it diversity, equity, and inclusion work. That's been a big part of my life for a long time. My first formal foray into DEI work was 1996. And so that's kind of been a through thread through my career as well. And so, for me, with those key pieces in my career coming into my chair role for NAPF, I really kind of have that focus of, so how do we in NAPF, you and I as partners, as executive director and board chair, how do we partner to ensure that NAPF is growing? How do I bring that financial growth mindset to NAPF? And the way that a membership organization like NAPF grows is not to run it like a business, but to ensure that members are getting a great experience, to ensure that members are getting what they came here for, to ensure that we are deepening our impact on the mission. That's how we grow. And my DEI experience brings this viewpoint of how do we make sure it feels really good to be a part of NAPF, that it feels inclusive, it feels like a community, and that everyone has an equitable opportunity to be an active part of NAPF, to serve on our board, all of that. So for me, those are kind of some of the viewpoints I have as the incoming chair of NAPF.
So being those your viewpoints, how does that translate, and what do you feel are going to be the primary areas or goals, I guess would be the thing to suggest here, as you go through your 2-year term as chair of the NAPF?
So for me, I want to really focus on supporting our park foundations across the country to ensure that they can grow and they can evolve into their full potential. Because I love the power of local park foundations. I love that through these local park foundations, they can really expand capacity for their communities. They can bring people together. They can really they can just do things for their communities beyond what their local park and rec municipal department can do, beyond what their local park district can do. And so for me, I think the NAPF, we have an important role in serving these local park foundations, helping them raise money, helping them bring people together in their local communities. And so for us, I think it's about how do we position them for success? How do we give them the resources they need so that they can help their communities grow? And so for us, I think the deep goals for NAPF over these next 2 years, as you and I partner, are going to be things like, how do we expand that member experience? How do we ensure that when members come to NAPF, they get the experience of helping their foundation truly grow, see an impact in their local community because of what NAPF did for them? That's going to be critical. When I was with Illinois Park and Rec Association, and their foundation, what we saw on the IPRA side was member satisfaction raised from 82% to 99% satisfied. And that's how we grew membership. So it's not just a numbers game. It's about giving members the experience that they're looking for, bringing people together, giving them something of great value. And so for me, I think that's what NAPF is going to now be evolving into, this wonderful member experience, giving members what they're craving. And through that, we grow. And by having more members, the networking and collaboration grows with it.
The thing that's exciting me the most, especially over the last year, as I began to flex this muscle, is supplying our members with the tools of governance. We're doing this a number of different ways: educational programming, as well as one-on-one consulting. So that's what excites me. What excites you about the next 2 years of NAPF?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things coming up that I'm super excited about. One of which is at the NRPA conference coming up, the National Recreation and Park Association conference. There's this awards luncheon, and unfortunately, I can't be there, and it's killing me. But there's going to be this awards luncheon that NAPF is hosting, sponsored by Greenfields, and it's going to be NAPF's opportunity to acknowledge and recognize these great leaders in park foundations across the country. I am so excited about this luncheon. I know all of the volunteers in NAPF, including you as our executive director, not that you're a volunteer, but all of the great leaders who are putting so much work into this event. I know it's going to be so special, so spectacular. It's just killing me that I can't be there, but I'm excited about that event. I'm also so excited about this event that I know you refer to as Foundation in a Box. And I don't know if that's the official title, but I love that you call it that. That is really going to be set up to help foundations really get their feet under them, get the momentum going, give them the tools, the resources they need to really see momentum, get themselves successful, get themselves going, give them so many resources and training. And I think so many park foundations we work with right now at NAPF are just really going to benefit from that program. Is that still the name, Foundation in a Box? Is that where
That's my name for it. And I probably will continue to use it because their toolboxes are a big part of the association world, as you know.
Yeah.
And having things in toolboxes for instance, all the great materials that we offer to startups on our website. Toolboxes are the way to go.
Yes. And Kevin, I know you do so much consulting for NAPF members, and there are so many foundations that are startups that I know come to NAPF and you help them through that process. That is such a critical service that I think NAPF provides. So kudos to you.
Yeah, and we're seeing even a wider variety of the types of organizations, friends groups, for instance, that are operating inside of state and national parks. So it's really exciting to see now that NAPF has really gotten its name out there and is developing a strong reputation for starting up park foundations, to see all the folks that are kind of coming to us for help.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very proud to be a part of this organization. Definitely.
So one of the areas that I think we have struggled, and I haven't really found my way out of this dark room yet, is I would love to bring a stronger sense of collaboration among our members. The networking aspect of being an online a trade association has stymied, I think, the ability to get our members networking. How do you plan to address that during your term as the chair?
Yeah. So, you and I both as association professionals, we know that one of the most important things that associations can provide is the partnership, the networking, the collaboration piece when you bring members together. And NAPF is a national organization, but we're still relatively small in number. And so for us, yeah, we do have to do things virtually pretty often. So I think in the next 2 years, what we're going to be doing more of is being really intentional about how we network virtually. And we're also beginning to talk about maybe we can do some regional in-person meetings so that we can get some of these relationships going with our members versus having, a big national meeting that people have to fly into. I don't know that that's going to be where we start. But I think having those virtual networking opportunities, we've also talked about having some virtual roundtable discussions, maybe hosted by some of my fellow board members, where we can really kind of discuss some key topics that we know are frequently asked questions of local park foundations so that we can help each other share best practices, share case studies, help each other get through some challenging moments. So I know that that's going to be something that NAPF is going to be working on in these next year or two, hopefully even in the next 6 months. We hope to do something in this direction.
I know you've always said a lot about your management of associations is setting up milestones that you can kind of gauge the success of your planning and your work towards. What are some of the milestones that you see for the NAPF, say through your term and maybe in the next 3 years after that?
Yeah, definitely. So I think for me, milestones, I mean, I'm a big strategic planning kind of person. So for me, milestones are about if we don't hold ourselves accountable, we're just going to keep talking about things, right? So we have to have key milestones. So for me, I think it's about holding ourselves accountable to specific goals. I want to see membership increasing for sure. I want to see member benefits increasing. I want to give members a reason to be a part of NAPF. I want to see their return on investment increase. I want to see their satisfaction, which is evidence that we are giving them what they're looking for, increasing. I want to see events. I want to see more and more virtual events coming out for our members. And I want to see things like the awards luncheon be an annual event because we have done some awards presentations in the past, but we do them a little bit more sporadically, once a year, once every other year. Sometimes it's a dinner, sometimes it's a luncheon, sometimes it's a reception. So I think there's some of these things that we need to create as more systemic annualized processes so that our members know what to expect from us every year. Certainly you and I know as association professionals, that's part of a member experience, just knowing what to expect from us on a routine basis. And then we as a part of the association can start adding on to that and giving our members some innovative new programs and ideas where we can try new and different things. But there should be a baseline of what our members expect from us. But again, I just want to see NAPF really building up for our members some exciting opportunities, things that are not just kind of that same old, same old. we've got to give members a compelling reason that if they join NAPF, not only will they have a great experience, but their local park foundation will deepen their capacity, deepen their fundraising, and that their community will get a benefit, a direct benefit as a result of being a part of NAPF. That is the end goal. That is what NAPF's mission is about, and that is why people should be a part of our association.
Well, and that segues well into my next question. How are some ways that the members and our subscribers can help achieve NAPF's mission?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for starts, certainly I would encourage any person to be a part of their local park foundation, right? So people should individually support, donate, engage with their local park foundation. But beyond that, if you're a part of your local park foundation, we encourage you to join NAPF. We encourage you to be a part of a committee or to apply for our board. So as I mentioned at the beginning, part of my background, part of my passion throughout my career is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And when I was chair of NAPF's governance committee, we were always looking for a competency-based, diverse, and balanced board. And so we always encourage people of all backgrounds and all abilities to apply for our board. And I believe the application window is open right now. Application is on our website. So I would encourage all people from local park foundations to apply for our board. But additionally, I would say, you should be a part of advocating for local park foundations. You should be a part of advocating for parks. You should take your family and your friends out into your local park. You should take your children out into your local parks because there is a lot going on in our country right now. It is a moment of great division. It is a moment where many people, for a variety of reasons, feel isolated or maybe feel alone or afraid or sad. And parks are where people come together. Parks are where people come together and feel happy. There's all sorts of research about if you are walking around out in nature, it will lessen those feelings of sadness, or of anger. It will lessen mental illness symptoms. And so parks are about feeling better. Parks are about feeling well. And so we should all be getting together with our friends and family out in our parks. Parks are about belonging. So we know that this summer in July, NRPA had National Park and Recreation Month, and the theme this year was Where We Belong. Right. And so again, parks are about belonging. Parks are about coming together. And our local park foundations are the way that communities can expand financial capacity to do more with their local parks so that we can bring more people together and more people can benefit from their local parks and feel like they are a part of something bigger and better than themselves. We bring people and families together, and in that way, we all make more memories, and that's really what it's all about.
I totally agree. Getting outdoors, exercising outdoors, spending time with your family and friends outdoors, all of these things contribute to positive mental health.
Absolutely.
You wear a lot of hats. You have a lot of leadership roles. I'm curious, what are some of the things that motivate you and keep you motivated with all of the different responsibilities that you have leading teams?
My goodness. I feel like I just shared some of those things. I think for me, it is really about the mission. In my heart of hearts, I'm a social worker. That is what I was trained in. I have a bachelor's and master's in social work. You can probably hear it in the way I talk, right? And so a lot of my career, a lot of what I care about is about helping people and about bringing people together. Again, you can hear that. And so for me, serving on a board, supporting an organization like NAPF, it is about trying to help people. And so whether that is about a strategic plan, whether that is about supporting a board as a consultant, whether that is doing DEI work, it is about trying to make the world a better place through our mission. And so that's what I want to do as board chair. And I want to do that as a partner with you, our executive director. I love working with you. You've been a great partner to me already. And so that's really why I keep going, why I wanted to be chair. we just want to, I just want to partner with you and to just deepen our impact and our mission of NAPF and just keep making the world a better place and helping people. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Chair Wynn had been the chair when I first came on board, and we'd be remiss not to thank him here in this forum also for the really hard work and dedication, even at the expense of his own health,
Yes.
to be the partner that NAPF needed for his executive director when it needed it. But I can tell you, I am very excited. I've been excited. You've been a huge part of my transition to NAPF. Its growth is attributable to you as well. And I'm really looking forward to having you in the big seat for an opportunity to partner with you more closely. And I think it's going to be a wonderful 2 years for NAPF.
Me too. If we were together in person, I'd like high five you right now.
There you go. Exactly. Well, everyone, thank you again for following our podcast. As you know, we're on YouTube, but we're also on all of the podcast applications, wherever you may get it. And whether it's like, subscribe, or tell your friends, we would love to get some more eyes and ears on our content. You can always find out more about the NAPF at the-napf.org, or look us up on your social media channels. I want to thank Debbie again and thank all of you, and we'll see you on the next The Foundation, a Parks People podcast.
Thanks for tuning into The Foundation, a Parks People podcast. If you like what you heard, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@the-NAPF to not miss an episode. To help this podcast grow, please like, comment, and share with your friends. Have a great day.